Hey everybody, welcome back to Behind the Hedges. I'm your host Mitch, and this here is Matt, and we're chopping it up about the dogs. Well, mostly, anyways. Got another little topic, Matt. I've been really interested in some news that's coming out just to the west of the Chattahoochee River this week,
Mm,
and man, things are going down on the plains, are they not? Uh, let's. What do you say we discuss coming up right after this?
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. Me.
I love it, love it, love it. So what's going on, man? The first thing I hear is that well, first of all, there's always been these rumblings that Harsin's not the guy, and they're going to run him out and all this kind of stuff, and then
in
all of a
year
sudden,
one, in year one,
well, there's been a lot of contention with him. Let's look at the season for a second. He comes in. Um, I guess you could say the beginning of Auburn's season was pretty good, but they lost their last 5 games.
look, man, Auburn was another one of those. After it started with Arkansas. You mentioned earlier, for us, bringing it back to Georgia, starting with Arkansas. Every team we played, there was the fairy tale of the week of,
Yes.
well, Georgia's about to get a reality check here, starting with Arkansas, and then
Hmm.
Auburn was going to do it. Bo
Hmm.
Nix, Bo Nix, I think the week before, or 2 weeks before, he morphed into like Deshaun Watson and had like
Hmm.
the game of his life, and they were like, "Well,
That
Georgia's
was
not going
against
to be able to handle
LSU,
that."
right? That was
Yeah,
the LSU game.
Georgia can't handle that. Here we go. Auburn's fitting to get that ass. It's in Jordan Hare. They're already the luckiest team in all of football in the history of the game at any level, and now they got a quarterback who's showing out. And here it comes. Yep.
Right.
So to your point, yeah, Auburn, Brian Harsin, year one, they were like making some noise. Yeah, we
Hmm.
might take down this badass Georgia team. We already took down LSU. Yeah, we might do something. And then that 5 game skid. I think like Boise, Idaho is a different planet than Auburn, Alabama. You
Oh
hear
yeah,
what
for
I'm
sure.
saying?
Yes, I
You
do
hear
for
what
sure.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a whole different demographic. It's a whole different culture. I mean, what we heard this week was that he was not connecting with kids who came from nothing, and but then the other kids on the team were like, "He ain't here to be your mama. He's here to be your head football coach, and we're gonna die with him." So I just think like
I want
this
to
really.
say something though. I got to say something. He might not have connected with folks in Auburn, but he did have some strong connections from Idaho that he brought along with him.
Oh well, look,
So I don't know how responsible journalism this is.
I ain't gonna say on the air what I've said in dark corners, but good for him.
Oh man, oh man. So for those of you so the allegations are that there was this young lady who was a cheerleader at Boise State who graduated as Harsin is leaving, and she came along with him to Auburn, and he gave her some sort of job in an analyst, a recruiting coordinator, something like that. He gave her some sort of position, paid her, gave her some money, right? And then, as it turns out, now it is alleged that they were having an affair, and this is the charge that the Auburn people are sort of rallying around. Let's get him out of there. He's this
Why?
infidelity charge.
The last time
Um,
y'all won a natty, you had the best player money could buy. He's illegitimate. Your title's illegitimate. You didn't have no problem doing that. What's the problem with this? Men and women, just a secret. Hold on, stop. Men and women sometimes like to bang each other. Did you know this? Were you
I
aware
have
of this?
I've
I
heard
know it's a
tell.
big mystery. It's all mixed up now with the state of the world now. But sometimes men and women like to smash. So were there any allegations, Mitch, of any of this being non-consensual?
I haven't heard anything like
Were
that.
there any allegations of this being abusive or predatory?
I haven't heard anything like that.
Is she an adult?
I yes, I believe
So
so.
two
Yes.
adults smashed. What's the big deal?
Not a big deal to me. What is a big deal is
To the Auburn
watching.
fans, Auburn fans clutched their pearls when we did the Gator Stomp back in '07. Shut up.
So what have you heard though? You've heard what is this no Harsin, no peace business
So
going on?
I read that, like it's some players went live and said he didn't connect with us, he didn't communicate with us, he don't get us, and then some players came on and went like, y'all need to grow some nuts and figure it out. This is your football coach, not your nanny. So there's that dynamic.
Mhm.
And then I heard that several dozen, or not, I didn't heard, I read it and saw pictures. There's photographs. Check this out online. Several dozen Auburn's fans gathered at the old toilet paper tree and started shouting, like in a rally, no Harsin, no peace.
Mm.
Hashtag Barner problems.
So I know that this is a Georgia show. What does this mean for us?
Nothing.
Well, I kind of think it does. I kind of think it like this. Like I think that Auburn is a tough job in that it is Alabama's rival, but also their crossover game is with Georgia. So every year they are getting handed Georgia and Alabama, and the only other team I think that can really say that is Tennessee, right? Tennessee plays in our division, and they got the crossover with Alabama,
Yeah.
right? So we saw what happened to Tennessee over the past 5, 10, 15 years when they hit a skid and had some drama in the, coaching chambers and the admin and everything. Tennessee's been on some hard times. Now, do they seem to be coming out of that? Sure, maybe, but there was a while there though where Tennessee would just go over in the SEC, and that's not typical Auburn behavior. But it's the kind of thing that could go in that direction. So how do I feel about it? I mean, it's like you said, man. The suffering of my enemies sustains me. You know what I mean? So like, will Harsin stay? Maybe. Will he go? Maybe. But it seems like there is enough divide that either one of those things is going to make somebody unhappy.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot, and the reason I say it doesn't do nothing, it doesn't affect us in any way, is that, I mean, we might get some recruits, there might be a transfer or two, but Auburn is that team that even if they are down in the sewers, you've seen this before, that they can still find a way to beat you. They get up for their rivals. If
That's
they
true.
field a bunch of middle schoolers for some reason, especially if you're playing them in Jordan Hare, shit just kind of bounces their way.
That is also true.
It doesn't make our road easier. They're still a bitter rival.
Our friend Warren would tell you that Auburn is the great ruiner of things.
Yeah.
Right. So they might not be able to enjoy the success themselves, but they'll make sure that you don't get to, and so anything that takes them down a peg, I'm all for it. Let's see. Harsin has lost 5 assistants in the past year.
This is where it gets dicey for me.
One of them. Bobo has joined our staff now. We're going to talk about that a little later on. But what is very, very interesting to me is Derek Mason. Derek Mason was Auburn's DC this past year, former head coach at Vanderbilt, and I think he did a great job as a DC. To be honest with you,
Listen, man, they were one play away from beating Bama, and the reason is because
absolutely.
they had Bryce Young. Auburn did more to Bryce Young than Georgia ever did in the both times we played them, including the national championship. Auburn became Bryce Young's nightmare. Mm-hmm. And that man who put that defense together against that team took a $400,000 pay cut to go to Stillwater, Oklahoma. That's what's got me like kind of, I don't know about Harsin, because he's gone through 5 qualified assistants already.
Yeah. Listen, man, at best, DC to DC is a lateral move. But going from Auburn, Alabama to Stillwater and taking the $400K cut, man, that dude couldn't get out of Auburn fast enough. You hear me? And I'm sure that Derek Mason's happy. I'm sure that Bobo is happy. This other guy who just came in and took the job and was there for like a month and was like, "No, I'm leaving for personal reasons," and is totally gone. Yeah, that dude is happy as a clam. You know who else is happy? The quarterback for Oregon. He's happy.
Dude, you ran off Bo Nix. That's a legacy. I mean, I don't know. More to come. Keep your eye on it. Looks like Auburn is on fire again. And
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I don't want to give them too much time on this show, but hey, good luck, Burners. We'll see you in Athens this year.
Yeah, no doubt.